Hello, welcome to Be Your Own Hoods, episode 2. So we are on a B road with Maggie, and this is the first time that you'll get to see Maggie in all her glory. She is a bit dirty, and I have just driven on a very dirty B road. So let's hop in, and I'll give you a bit more of a chat inside.
Can't keep my hands to myself. No matter how hard I'm trying to, I want you all to myself.
So let's start her up, see if she starts. Yeah, Maggie, Maggie, Maggie. Sorry if it's a bit steamy in here, but I've just been sat in here turning on the GoPros and all that sort of stuff. So let's go. I have heard it's kind of developed a little bit sorry, of a exhaust rattle, so I need to have a look at that. Get underneath Maggie and have a little listen. If you can't hear me, I'm sorry, but I do have a mic on the way for this sort of stuff. So let's get into it. Maggie. She has, when I first bought her, she needed sills, she needed everything done, and before we could get an MOT, before we could even think about putting her on the road. So she went into the garage I bought her in June, sorry, end of June. She went in the garage on the 1st of July last year and was in there for about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, having various things. She had new tyres, new exhaust, the sills obviously, new rear lights, all sorts of stuff to get her past the MOT. Now, it was quite funny when I first took her in. They MOT'd her to see what needed to be done. The list was literally longer than I am tall, but I mean that's not hard. I'm quite a short person, so it was quite funny seeing that. It's literally a list like this big. So that all got ticked off, and now she has no really advisories. I mean, the garage did say it's not really an advisory, but probably the ball joints need changing at some point. So that is going to be one of the main things. And obviously with all classic minis there is a bit of rust in the usual places, around the front lights, on the windscreen here, where it's actually been changed. The windscreen's been changed. It's not the one that came with the car, because the VIN numbers don't line up. So maybe it's had a cracked windscreen, it got changed, don't know, but unfortunately there is a little bit of rust around the edges, but nothing major. Probably will get it changed at some point, but it is nothing. So I mean, about this car, it's a 2000 Mini with stage 1 tuning kit on the 1.3 multi-point injection engine, which you'll hear. She does like to go. She loves revving. She rev about 5.5. You can get her up to before changing. Obviously, it's only 4 gears, so you have got quite a lot of freedom to really eke out every rev on each of the gears. I have put a short shifting kit on it, so it is really nice to change. Another thing that was wrong with it when I got it is that it didn't go into 4th gear. I think one of the synchro meshes had just given up, so it now is a really nice car to get into the gears. Sorry for that bang. Obviously, with it being a mini, the suspension isn't the softest. It's not driving a Rolls Royce, it's more like driving a go-kart on the public roads, which makes it incredibly fun, as you can see by my head bobbing up and down, but it also makes it really tough on the suspension and everything. It's really hard. This one obviously is lowered as well. Now, lots of this stuff, guys, was done before I bought it, so it's obviously lowered. It's not a stock colour. You will gather that it's not a stock colour. It is obviously, it is a Cooper. It is an official Cooper, but it's obviously not stock, being like down to Sparko steering wheels. So we'll just wait for this guy. Who is phoning me? These people can fuck off. So suspension obviously isn't the softest. It is in fact quite horrendous sometimes, which is why you'll hear every rattle, every crack, everything when you're driving. But that's what makes them so enjoyable. That's what people love about them, and all that sort of stuff. So that is obviously why people buy Minis, because they are go-karts to drive. They're really, really fun. They're super quick for what they are. If you drop it down, listen, and it might pop. It may pop a little bit. Anyway, it's got the stage 1 exhaust on it. I couldn't afford the stage 2 when I got it done. I'd obviously just bought it, so the original exhaust, I might be able to put a picture up, I can't if I find one, was like a horrible, really, really bad aftermarket exhaust with twin pipes out the back, but they weren't the close ones together like some Coopers have, which were quite nice. They were at each end of the rear bumper, and it was just really, really nasty. So that's why I also had a massive crack in it. That was one of the MOT failures. It had a massive crack and it was letting exhaust gases straight out the manifold, so that needed to be changed, and I opted for the stage 1 exhaust from Minisport UK, or minisportlimited.com, which, by the way, they awesome products, and we will go back the way we came on another B road and go around this way. Now, the seats aren't the original seats that came with the car. They are from a 1990 Flame, 998 Flame, whatever they are. But these seats are incredibly comfortable. They are so comfy. When I say they're really comfy, I mean they're the most comfortable seats I could find for what the budget was. When I bought it, it had like these Cobra bucket seats, which were awesome, but because I'm so short, they didn't work. I could reach the pedals, but then the steering wheel was over here, and it was just really, really uncomfortable to drive. It was really difficult. It was really hard to drive, and I just thought, you know what, I do want to track this car. I do want to take it to track. The garage where I got all the work done, he has a Mark 1 and Mark 2 Escort, which we took to Branch Hatch, and I was watching it. I was like, I need to get Maggie on the track. I really want to give it a go. So that will be a feature video in the future. I don't know how near or how far the future we're talking, but there will definitely be a day where you see Maggie on a racetrack. Anyway, back to seats. They obviously aren't stock seats, so they're a little bit shaky. I mean, the brackets are the same, but you know, when you put one thing from another car on something else, although it is OEM, it's kind of a little bit hidden here nor there, unless you really, really fabricate something that works. But they are super comfy. The only thing is obviously that you don't have a headrest, and it's quite nice sometimes when you're cruising. Obviously you don't do much cruising in a car like this, but when you're cruising, to be able to just sit back. But I mean, beggars can't be choosers, hey. But I probably will be putting some nice bucket seats, like fairly cheap ones, but maybe some Cobras, maybe Sparko, maybe Recaro. I'm massively into JDM cars, so I have been looking at Bride seats, but I just think Bride seats in a Mini doesn't really work, although it might be quite cool. Who knows? Let me know in the comment section what you think. The Bride seats, probably not going to happen. But leading on to JDM, some of you may know, some of you who follow me may know that I did used to have a Mazda MX-5. I had a Mark 1 MX-5. It was the VR limited edition line, so it was the maroon one with the. It was an Uno's Roadster, so it's been imported back in 2000. It was a 1996 car that was imported to England in 2000. Really, really low mileage. But the bodywork was shot. It was awful. Although it was all straight, all the panels were straight, it was just fading. It was really, really badly done. So I said to myself when I bought it, I only bought it for £1,000. I said to me, no, £800 actually. I said to myself when I bought it that was going to be something I wanted to do. It never really, I never did it. I never really happened. It never happened. And obviously then I bought this, and one of them had to go, and the Mazda unfortunately drew the short straw and was sold. But I did make money on it. I made £250 on it, bought it for 800 and sold it for 1,050. I say I made money on it. I spent shitloads of money on it. I spent £600 on wheels. I spent £200 on the exhaust. It was a nice cobalt stainless steel exhaust. I spent what else did I spend? I did rocker cover that got changed, and also whilst all of this work was being done, I was buying every sort of paycheck every month. I was buying something else to make it a turbo car. So one month I bought the manifold and the downpipe. The next month I bought the actual turbo. It was a TD04 from a Subaru Impreza that I was going to stick on it. The next month I bought injectors. Month after that I bought the like a few weeks maybe before I was actually going to do it. This opportunity came up to buy my dream car, a Mini, which I don't regret at all. I don't regret buying this car, but because of and getting rid of the Mazda. The JDM is a massive love of mine. I love JDM cars. I love the Toyota Chasers, Soras, all that sort of stuff. GTRs, obviously, that's the goal, the Godzilla. But the Mini had always been a part of my love of cars. Had always been, I really like Mini. Now, before I bought this Mini, I actually had never been in one. I'd never been in one, although my granddad had one. Both my grandparents, both my mum and dad's side, had Minis. My uncle had a Mini, and I'd never been in one. I'd never sat in them. And done any of that sort of stuff. So I just based my love on the appearance. But then when I got in it and I drove it, I was like, oh my god, this hasn't let me down at all. This is exactly, because sometimes, you know, people buy the Ferrari that they've always dreamed of having, and then it just completely lets them down. They're just, I should have actually checked that this is the right car. I should have actually driven it and test drove it before I bought it, because sometimes it really does let them down. But this just hasn't let me down at all. I still love driving this car, and I'm sure it wasn't on the road for about a year or two before I bought it and did the work. So I'm sure it's also enjoying being used and obviously being cared for, them how much I do care for it. But JDM cars, Japanese cars, I do miss having that rear wheel drive Mazda that was just so much fun. It was a 1.8 litre with the LSD. Was so much fun. Days like this where it's a little bit greasy, it's not raining, but it did rain last night, so things are a little bit greasy. Just kicking the back out around a roundabout was just the best thing ever at 19 and 20. And now obviously I'm in this front wheel drive car, and I've got so much grip. It's so grippy, this car, that it's crazy fun, but in a different way. Although I've never drifted properly, I do know obviously how to control the car because of my Mazda. But maybe there'll be some more. Maybe there's some drifting exploits on the channel in months to come, weeks to come, or whatever. But hopefully this gives you a little bit more of an insight into Maggie, me, and maybe a little bit more what's to come as well. I know the last two videos, this video and the first one, have been what I'm going to do when I'm going to do it. Obviously, I'm still trying. I just want to get the content out there and obviously show my face and speak to the camera a bit more, because there are things that I want to do. There's things in the pipeline that I'm gonna do, like with my brother. We might be buying some cars and doing them up and then selling them on. But obviously, when I'm buying them and doing them up, I will be reviewing them and telling you a little bit more about them. So fingers crossed it all goes smoothly and goes like the way I want it to. Obviously, it kind of has to now, because I've quit my job. I now don't have a steady income in terms of, well, money. I used to have a job, a good job, quite a high paid job in terms of how old I am and all that sort of stuff as an estate agent. So for me now, it's obviously pumping all my time, all my effort, all the money I do have into trying to make really, really good content for you guys. Obviously, I appreciate like some of the shots will be a little bit jumpy because I don't have a gimbal or anything like that. So that is something that I'm gonna try and get, and just to really make all of the footage the best it can be, and then go from there. I don't want to be like this vlogger that turns into a multi-millionaire and drives Lamborghinis and Ferraris. That doesn't excite me. What excites me is actually doing videos that maybe I'll have to be getting underneath the car, maybe I will break down, maybe I will do this sort of stuff and do a vlog about that. So yeah, there are, as I said before, there are some trips to come. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, like, share, please do. I really, really appreciate any of your comments. I will reply to all the comments that you put on there. I know some people commented on the last video. I replied to all of the comments about what was going to happen. Any questions you have, I will ask. And please share the page with anyone you know that's into cars, anyone that you know that maybe wants their car reviewed, that's within like the Surrey area. I will go a little bit further out if it's like a really cool car. If someone says, yeah, by the way, Tom, I've got a GTR that I want you to review, I'll be like, yeah, get me on the plane, I don't mind. So I will come out and I will review the cars, because that's what I really want to do. Now obviously I'm not a mechanic. I'm not someone that's like, oh yes, well, if you had done this, then you would be able to get 0.0 miles an hour quicker out of the engine. I'm not like that. I'm just like, yeah, it's a cool car, let's review it, let's have a chat about it, let's talk about what you've got on it, and all that sort of stuff, and then vice versa. You can tell me what you like about my car, what you don't like about my car, and go from there. Now, with the Ford that I was driving in the last video, in my original video, my introduction video, that one will be going within the next 3 or 4 weeks. That I won't have that car anymore. I'll be getting rid of it. So the quest is on, which is what I'm going to leave you with. The quest is on for finding my next daily car. Now obviously the Mini at the moment will be my daily, but it's not a daily car. I don't want to be driving it in the wet, really, because obviously I want to make sure that it's still the perfect car that it is at the moment. But I really, really want to find a really cool daily car, maybe budget wise about £1,000. So if you do think of anything, ideally like upwards of a 1.6 1600 engine, turbo would be sick, rear wheel drive would be sick. And I know everyone's probably thinking, oh, rear wheel drive 1.6 1.8 Mazda MX-5. I've done it, I've done that car. It's a brilliant car. I would have another one, but I want to change it. I want to have something that I haven't driven before. I'm thinking like Mark 3, Mark 2, if I can find a really, really cheap one, Golf, VW Golf, and then maybe stance it out a bit. And why am I in traffic now? It's so annoying. And yeah, so a Golf would be cool. I've been looking at old Fiestas, XR2s. They are stupid money now, but if you can get one that needs some work doing, literally just took off, all the wheels came off the floor, I think. If you can get a nice one that needs a little bit of work, and you can maybe stick some coilovers on it and some, I don't know, Team Dynamic Racing wheels, cheap and cheerful wheels on it, then we can do that. And yeah, so if you comment in the comment section of what you think I should get, then obviously please let me know, because that is the next that's probably going to be within the next 3 or 4 months. also have no money now. So I will be saving up from odds and sods jobs that I'll be doing, family, friends. Obviously I will be doing some bank robberies and some drug deals. Hit me up in the comment section. I'm only joking, I'm really joking. I've never touched drugs in my life, and I never will. Although alcohol, maybe. So please, like, share, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Cheers guys.